Afghanistan's capital city, Kabul, seems more dangerous since the drawdown of international troops. The insurgents are targeting foreign staff, and the troops themselves are more risk-averse, unwilling to accept casualties in a war which they are no longer directly fighting.
Here in Kabul, the threat from attack on the roads is increasing, so people are relying more on helicopter lifts to get them from A to B safely.
The RAF is part of this international helicopter force. Puma helicopters now buzz across the skies over Kabul. The squadron arrived in April when the Pumas replaced much larger Chinooks. Despite its smaller capacity, Puma has been punching above its weight.
Puma does a really good job at keeping people from moving around on the ground. It's a smaller footprint to Chinook, quite clearly, which means it's really perfectly suited to an urban environment. It can get in and out of particularly tight helicopter landing sites and do so in quite an agile, efficient manner. We're finding that actually the efficiencies to be had in terms of speed of tasking and the capacity that frees up for us to undertake more moves, move more people, ensure that more people are off the roads, is higher than perhaps our predecessors.
The Pumas are busy, moving 1,500 people a month across Kabul. The crews face the threat of attack from the ground, but there are also dangers in the air.
Aircraft's very well protected across the range of threats that are posed in this kind of theatre. And of course the crews train extensively, both in the aircraft and in the simulator back in the UK and on exercise around the world to replicate the difficult conditions that we find here. An urban environment brings new challenges that the crews aren't particularly used to from training in the UK. Whether that be from kites at low level or masts and obstacles that aren't necessarily as obvious from maps and charts that we've got, to working in a very congested airspace around Kabul. There's a lot of traffic in and around the area that we operate in.
Not only that, the aircraft is flying at 6,000 feet above sea level in 30-degree heat. And Puma is not a new aircraft. These airframes are more than 40 years old. Luckily, they've had a recent upgrade.
This is the Puma Mark II. It came into service 2 years ago and it underwent a life extension program from the original 1970s airframe, primarily to give it increased safety but also increase the capability of the airframe. So the primary difference is the upgraded engines and transmission system, which provides much greater fuel economy, greater payload and greater distance.
So what kind of loads does this aircraft take? How many passengers and what kind of weight?
We can now carry up to 16 personnel. We've also got capability to carry equipment, cargo in an underslung load beneath the aircraft, things like humanitarian aid in some sort of contingency operation environment.
What's its capability like of operating in an environment like Kabul in Afghanistan?
Up here we're at quite high altitude, just over 6,000 feet. It is very warm, and the new Makila 1A1 engines have given us a great delivery of power. Therefore we can lift carrying around eight personnel with full equipment. Meanwhile delivering people's personal mail all over the city of Kabul. Therefore it's a superb platform in these type of environmental conditions.
Like any military unit, the Puma squadrons have been keen to put their training into practice and serve in Afghanistan. The recent upgrade means they're finally getting that chance. Charlotte Cross, Forces News, Kabul.